So today I'm going to talk about an app and a site that I have been researching that you could possibly use in your classroom one day. So the site I chose is called powtoon.com, and I chose this site because my EDF professor last semester showed it to us as a way to take notes. And what it is that it's a site that allows you to easily create animated videos. So rather than needing to learn how to use some complicated software or actually have artistic abilities, you can create animated videos with powtoon.com. And the other thing I like about it is that it has a specific teacher option. So you can find templates that are more specific to educational purposes rather than business meetings like a lot of these websites tend to be. So how it works is that you choose a template, or if you're feeling really confident, you can start from scratch and make your own. And then you edit the storyboard, so you choose what slides you want, what slides you don't want to get rid of. You can leave it just how it is. You can really change it here. And then you customize the text. So you go through each slide and you add in things specific to your classroom, specific to the assignment you're doing. And then you can export the final project in multiple different forms. So here you can publish it to your Powtoons website. You can export it as a PowerPoint, as a YouTube video. So there are a lot of different options for you to get your final project published. So the use in the classroom is that it supports your lesson planning. So for teachers, especially in high school teaching, rather than just having a boring PowerPoint that you flip through, you can create one of these videos ahead of time, and it gives your students a little something different to look at than you. It also helps students use technology. So one way you could implement this in your classroom is to allow students to each get on a computer and watch these individually, and you could have added in activities and things like that. But it's also simple enough to use that you can allow the students to create projects with this website themselves for class assignments. It also is very easy to diversify for a diverse classroom. So you can make small adjustments in the activities that you put in them and then let each student work according to their skill level with those different presentations. Or with the project planning, it allows you to give a little more one-on-one attention to those students who aren't understanding the content as much or don't quite understand how to use the software. So it allows you to individualize your scaffolding a little more than a traditional classroom setting. So my final thoughts about this one: the pros, it's really simple to use, it's easy to diversify, and it's visually more interesting than just them watching you give a PowerPoint. So the things that I didn't like about it: I tried it with Safari at first and it would not work for me at all. So then I used it on Chrome and it worked perfectly fine. That's something that is a pet peeve. I like it when something will work on any browser I have. So that was a con for me. And also there are extra features you can get, but it requires a paid upgrade. And ultimately, I would use this in my classroom because I think it's really simple to use and it's just interesting and something different. So the app that I chose is iMindMaps, and it's an app that lets you create mind maps, which if you haven't used much, they're used a lot for pre-writing in English classes, and it's just this web of bubbles and shapes that have notes scribbled in them and everything's connected somehow, and it's just a great way to get your ideas down on paper. So how this app works is you have to create an account, and then to start you choose kind of an anchor shape that will be the center of your mind map. And then you can add in other shapes in different positions, and you can see that they're all connected and there are a bunch of different options. You can draw in these shapes, you can write text, you can upload photos. There's just a lot of different options to do with this. So here's something that I kind of created as an example, and so I've got some written stuff, and then you can actually label the lines and add text in each box. So the usefulness for this in the classroom is it's a really good tactic for brainstorming English. Like I said, it's very useful for that. It would also allow students to create a study tool themselves, which makes it very individualized because each student would be creating their own resources that fit their abilities and that fit their learning style. My final thoughts on this app were that the upside is that it's incredibly individualized. Again, students are creating their own resources to fit their abilities, their skill level, their reading style, but I found it really difficult to learn how to use. So what I was able to create is this. And I played around with it for a few minutes and was able to figure out how to do this because there are a lot of different buttons, a lot of different options, it's just not very user-friendly. However, I found this mind map created with this app online. So if you're willing to really take time to dedicate to learn how to use this app effectively and teach that to your students, it could be really useful in the classroom. So in conclusion, we need to teach our students more about technology. Our world is full of technology, and we are doing our students a disservice to not teach them how to use it effectively and how to use it for professional purposes or educational purposes. And I think both of these resources that I've talked about today, Powtoon.com and iMindMaps, are resources worth looking into more to see if they fit into your classroom, into your subject area, and if there's something that you think your students can learn to use or that you could use to teach them.